The argument that you keep making is that the child doesn't have the capacity. I'm asking you because you're making this as a second argument.
Let's see if I can actually get this
No, I want you to actually
answer.
answer this. Because the argument that you keep making, Destiny,
does this count as an interruption?
said multiple times is at the moment of conception, which you agreed, all those genetic components are already there.
What is a genetic component?
Because the genetic code comes into existence.
Genetic component is another word for blueprint.
Unite.
A blueprint is not the thing itself.
Do you? How do you think a child gets consciousness? Do you honestly think that there's like a part that's inserted into the uterus that then gives the child consciousness?
Do you think I honestly think that? Why do you ask it that way? Do you honestly think? Do you really think I honestly think that?
Because I don't think you're that stupid. Is why I'm saying that.
Okay.
Because you keep asking this.
Where do you think
question.
I would say? What do you think my answer would be? Where does consciousness come from? How does it happen? Tell me what you think I would say. I'm so curious.
I actually don't know because you keep saying that the child in the womb.
Yeah.
Because when you have the argument with Lila about coma that you've talked about like ad nauseum at this point.
Okay.
I'm getting sick of the same argument over and over again.
True. Let's talk about viability.
Would you
some more.
stop interrupting
the argument
me
that
and
nobody's
acting
even
like
made.
a child, please?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You just like literally keep talking while I'm talking.
Does this all count as one interruption? Remember, she asked me the question like 20 minutes ago. Yeah.
No, but when you keep arguing that the child in the womb has no rights, that can be terminated, killed, brutally dismembered.
Brutally.
Yes, actually brutally. You admitted that earlier.
The only types of abortions I'm in favor of, yes. Sorry,
abortions are very gruesome. So you said that the child has no rights and that because the child hasn't developed consciousness, it doesn't have the capacity. And what the argument that Lila and I have made multiple times today is that the child just needs time to grow because the child has everything the child needs to develop.
If you don't kill it,
this is the point.
It needs nutrients from the mom. By definition,
the child has everything it needs at the moment of conception.
Because the person under anesthetic needs nutrients to live.
How does
a child? It depends on how long you're under anesthesia for.
Okay, if you're the one making this argument,
you need to breathe.
If you're the one making the argument that personhood doesn't begin until consciousness, tell me how the child in the womb develops consciousness. Explain it for me, because I don't think you understand what happens at the moment of conception.
Okay. You probably know the process better than me, okay? So I'm going to try my best, okay? And then correct me if I'm wrong, okay? So the egg sees a bunch of sperm guys around. They let one in, usually, not always. Usually one comes in, and then the egg and the sperm come together. And when they come together, the cells begin to grow and divide. Now, over time, once you've gotten to hundreds or thousands of cells,
billions
of cells, probably not interested. There's like 100,000, 10,000, then eventually billions of cells, right? I think that you have little things called stem cells that go to different parts of the body and begin to grow and develop based on the genetic code you have and how things are being directed, right, during that process, okay? I'm sure there's a more complicated way to explain it. That's about as well I understand it. So what I would say is, when does the baby get consciousness? It's not magical. What happens is there are parts of your brain that stem cells are hanging out in that are slowly growing out and developing. It's getting nutrients from the mom. It's developing along some normal path. And at some point, it develops the parts, and then those parts begin to metabolize things and function, and then you have that conscious experience.
So you just said it develops the parts.
It develops parts.
Yeah.
You just admitted it. Thank you. You just admitted it. That at the moment of conception,
it doesn't
everything
have,
the child
What I'm
needs
admitting,
to form consciousness is present.
What
Wait,
I'm
Destiny,
admitting,
can we have you sitting straight up?
He's in his child.
Do I really? Is that like a rule?
Well, it's just like
It wasn't on the release I signed. You have to sit up. That wasn't on any of the parts. Wait, look at the camera. Show it on me. Am I that out of frame? I'm
it's
fine.
just
because you keep arguing that if Lila is in
focus,
a coma, but she has the ability to potentially.
Why can't I answer a question? Why do you keep like talking? Can I answer the question?
You did, and
I didn't get the answer.
You actually just proved yourself
You were
wrong.
making the point that you said it develops, so you proved my point. Wrong. Develops implies you didn't have it. That's why you develop it. You don't develop.
Where did
things
it come
you have.
from? Did the magic conscious fairy deliver it in my vagina?
The reason the child got consciousness is because the child, the human, developed its consciousness naturally. Just like you will develop as you get older, age, you'll have an aging process. The toddler will develop age into an adolescent.
And until you've developed the parts necessary, to have a conscious experience, you're not having
and
one.
we're saying that's illogical and
it's
unjust.
not illogical.
And
It's perfectly logical.
Well, you said
just like if I give you the blueprints and the parts and I show you something,
not a
the
blueprint,
parts in
though.
the blueprint don't go vroom vroom, but when I put the car together and I turn the key on, it does go vroom vroom. I wouldn't say that just because I've got the parts and I've got the blueprint, I've got the vroom vroom. I would say after it's all put together, then it has the vroom vroom.
But Destiny, unlike a car and parts and someone putting in a key, an embryo that's developing is self-developing and self-actualizing with nourishment and time. With nourishment and time. It's, you could say, a self-building car that's building as it goes.
I'll say if you want to use a self-building car, a self-building car with all the parts in the blueprint that can assemble itself is still not a car until it's put together itself.
Hold on. If we want to use your car analogy, if I go buy a baby Tesla because it's a tiny self-building baby Tesla, and if I leave it in a room with oxygen and put a couple gasoline things along the wall, baby Tesla will develop into this mega beautiful Tesla, okay? I would be very angry with anyone who came into my garage where baby Tesla was and killed baby Tesla and said, well, it wasn't a Tesla yet because it wasn't big and all the way developed yet. I would say it would have been if you didn't kill it, if you didn't destroy my Tesla.
It would have been.
But it was still a Tesla. It would have. It's still a Tesla. Do you see that?
$199. Have my abortion, Destiny.
That was very rude. Why did that one get to play?
But
it was the TTS trigger is $199 and up.
Okay.